Hi, and in this video, you're gonna learn 6 powerful compliments to activate his love. Hi ladies, Matt Shaffer here, your empowerment, connection, and relationship coach. I'm a former attorney who's committed his life to supporting you in creating the sort of fun, fulfilling, dynamic connections and relationships with men that you are so worthy of. And I am super excited about this topic. We're gonna dive back into compliments, and I'm gonna share with you 6 new ones that are gonna make a really big difference in the way that you connect and communicate with men in your life. But before we dive into it, take a second, hit that little subscribe button, and don't forget to click that link in the comments and caption. I have created some great training that's gonna make a huge difference in your connections and relationships with men. So click that out, and then we're gonna get going. So let's start off by talking about why complimenting a guy is so important to you and your relationship. First off, compliments are a powerful reinforcement of his positive behavior and his positive traits in the relationship. So if you want him to show up as his best self in the relationship and do the things that you really love to you and with you, you're gonna wanna compliment him. And secondly, exchanging compliments is a really unique and effective way to bring you and your partner closer together. It's a type of intimate exchange that he doesn't get anywhere else. I promise. It's not like his buddies are saying, "Bro, you really inspired me with how you handled that board meeting today. You're so courageous. You make me want to be a better man, bro." Nope, it doesn't happen. Men are starved for compliments, and you are probably the only person in his life that can give him that sort of emotional nourishment that he's not getting anywhere else. So enough small talk, let's dig into these 6 compliments, and I'm gonna give them to you Mad Lib style. So I'm gonna give you the compliment with a fill in the blank at the end that you can customize however you want. Plus I'll give you a couple examples to use with each one. And these first 3 compliments are going to be action acknowledgement compliments, because men are craving being acknowledged for their actions in the world. And I'm going to give you 3 specific compliments and situations where they can be used most effectively. And number 6 is, I adore you for blank. In that blank, you want to put a small action statement. For example, I adore you for protecting our relationship by never letting us go to bed angry. You always make sure we resolve whatever's going on before we go to sleep. Or another example, I adore you for always playing with the kids when you get home from work, no matter how tired you are. And why is this such a good compliment? Because it demonstrates that you are paying attention to his small behaviors and daily habits that he's going out of his way to do that a lot of men honestly feel like are being taken for granted. And a little bonus to regularly using this small action compliment is that if you're, consistently acknowledging him for the little things he's doing in his day that make you feel good, he's going to be more prone to notice and acknowledge you for those same little things that you're doing for him. So it really becomes a mirroring situation if you do it on a regular basis. And when do you want to use this small action compliment? You want to use it whenever he does the activity, either during or immediately after, so it feels organic and alive to him. If you do it too far afterwards, he's going to look at you like, well, why didn't you tell me at the time, right? Like, he's going to be like, are you trying to butter me up because you want to ask me for something? And number 5 is, I admire you for blank. And in that blank, you want to put a large action, vision, or purpose statement. For example, I admire you for building a business around your passions, even when your mom and dad thought that you were crazy. Or, I admire you for always putting this family first, even when your work is really tough. And why is this compliment so effective? Well, it's because men are craving being seen and acknowledged for the big picture of what they're trying to do with their lives. Every man, no matter what type of career or profession that he has on some level a vision for his life and a legacy that he's looking to create through his actions and his efforts. And if you can let him know that you acknowledge and see and admire him for that pursuit, right? For that work he's doing tirelessly day in and day out to accomplish that legacy and to sort of fulfill his purpose or his destiny in the world, he's going to feel really seen and appreciated and fulfilled in his relationship with you, especially if his work or the pursuit of his legacy is something that challenges him on a regular basis. Your compliments can be the nourishment that keeps him going when he's feeling totally exhausted and burnt out otherwise. And the best time to use this compliment is when you notice that he's had a tough day, or he just seems kind of exhausted, or maybe a little lost in the pursuit of his vision. This can be a really clarifying and empowering thing that you can give him when he needs it the most. And compliment number 4 is, you really impressed me with blank. And in that blank, you're gonna put a bold action statement that he's done towards you. For example, you really impressed me with the way you carried me on your back the whole way back to camp on our hike after I said that I was tired. That was so sweet. And why is this compliment so great? Well, when men are emotionally invested in a woman, they're often going to go above and beyond and over the top to try to impress her and win her over. And when you validate and acknowledge a man's over the top efforts, it's going to really validate and light him up and fulfill him on a really deep level and make him want to do more of those crazy romantic gestures. And you can use this impress me compliment anytime, but it's most effective in the early courtship stages of a relationship to really validate and reinforce that a man is being your knight in shining armor, which is going to continue to build and deepen that excitement and that pursuit that he's so invested in. And number 3 is, you make me feel blank when you blank. For example, you make me feel so safe and cherished when you hold me in your arms. Or you make me feel so excited when you plan our dates out way ahead of time, but won't tell me what we're doing until you come and pick me up. And why this is one of the very best compliments that you can tell a man is because it is hugely empowering for him to hear and understand the way that how he's being or what he's doing is impacting you emotionally. We are not mind readers, ladies, and when you let us into your heart and you let us know how we're deeply impacting you through the way that we're showing up, it is incredibly activating to us. And the best time to use this compliment is anytime, but it's most potent when you and your partner are both engaged or immersed in the experience. It'll really amp up the intensity of it. I know if I'm dating someone and I'm holding them and they tell me how safe and how loved they feel in my arms, I'm gonna wanna squeeze them even tighter. And number 2, and I promise you this is a good one, even though it's gonna seem a little random, is I love your smell. And why is this compliment so hot? Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but I think it comes down to just evolution and biology. I think we're primally wired to be attracted to each other's pheromones. And so when a woman says that she loves the way I smell or that she misses smelling me, it's very attractive to me, and it makes a man feel very magnetic to the woman that he's with. And for the record, I'm not really talking about cologne smell. I'm talking about like the smell of his body, the smell of his skin. I actually had a girlfriend who, when I wouldn't be able to hang out with her for a number of days, say if I was working or I was away on a trip, she would actually ask if she could borrow one of my used t-shirts, one of my old t-shirts, so that she could have something that smells like me to cuddle with at night. I thought that was sweet. This was a favorite, right? This one says, danger, I'm a hugger. I know it might seem a little weird, but it was actually pretty hot. And the number 1 compliment to activate a man's love is the identity acknowledgement compliment. And it goes, you are an amazing blank. And in that blank, you want to put whatever his role is that he's playing that you are absolutely loving. So you could put, you are an amazing lover. You are an amazing father. You are an amazing writer. You are an amazing chef. And why is this simple compliment so powerful? Well, it's because that men, even more so than women, have a tendency to identify themselves and really create their own innate value through the roles that they play in their relationships in their life and the activities that they engage in. So when you use this identity acknowledgement compliment and you really validate his activities and his actions that he's attached himself to, you're really validating his identity and his sense of self, which is going to be hugely empowering to him. And when and how to use this compliment best is for a man who's very busy and who wears a lot of different hats in his life and maybe doesn't get acknowledgement or praise for all those different roles he plays throughout the course of his day. And feel free to rotate this one on a regular basis. Say 1 week you compliment him for being such a great father, and the next week you compliment him for being such a masterful chef for that memorable curry dinner that he made you the other night.
It's not working.
And ladies, if you use these 6 compliments authentically and consciously with your partner or any guy that you're looking to get to know, it is going to activate him and empower him to want to step up, be more of the man that you want, and deepen his love and attachment to you. And to review, number 6 is, I adore you for blank. And insert a small action statement in there. Like, I adore you for how consistently you clean the gutters every week. Or, I adore you for always holding the door for me, even if it's not date night. Like, we're at the grocery store and you're doing it. That just touches my heart so much. This powerful emotional validation for small habitual actions that he's doing will let him know that you're not taking them for granted and that you want him to keep doing them. And number 5 is, I admire you for blank. And in that blank, you'll put a larger action statement or maybe something around his vision or purpose. When you compliment a man on his vision and purpose, you're nourishing his soul and you're giving him the fuel he needs to overcome whatever obstacles he may be facing as he goes out there to create his legacy. And number 4 is, you really impressed me with blank. And in that blank, you're going to put a big, bold, over-the-top action that he's done to try to win your heart. For example, you really impressed me when you called all over town to find the one Thai restaurant that I haven't been to yet and got us the last table. Remember, when you validate a man's over-the-top courting, it's going to make him feel like a knight in shining armor and make him want to sweep you up onto his steed and gallop off into the sunset. And number 3 is, you make me feel blank when you blank. You want to tie a positive feeling to an action that he's doing. Few things empower a man more than knowing that what he's doing or how he's showing up is having a huge impact on your heart and the way that you feel about him and about yourself. For example, you made me feel so loved when you stood up for me at the bar when that other lady was being rude. And you want to make sure to use that compliment in the middle of the experience to really amp up the intensity of that moment that the two of you were sharing. And number 2 is, I love your smell. And I don't necessarily mean cologne smell or deodorant smell or shampoo smell. You want to acknowledge just the smell of who he is, his pheromonal essence, right? That is really powerful, really primal, and really hot for a guy to hear. And the number 1 compliment to activate a man to love you more is the identity acknowledgement compliment that you are an amazing blank. You are an amazing father, lover, writer, driver, whatever it is, whatever role that he plays that you know is really important to him. You want to acknowledge him for that and let him know how amazed and in awe of that you are. That's one of the most empowering and most validating things you can do a man, is acknowledge him for the roles that he identifies himself with in his life, both in his relationship with you and just in the activities he engages in on a day-to-day basis. If he's passionate about it and you acknowledge him for that, he's going to love it. So get out there and light your men up, ladies. But before you do, take a second, hit that little subscribe button, and don't forget to click that link in the comments and caption. I have created some great training that's going to make a huge difference in your connections and relationships with men. You don't want to miss it. Be sure to click in there, and don't forget to sound off in the comments and let us know, what are the greatest compliments you've ever given a man? I'd love to hear them. Let's start a conversation in the comments. Those are a lot of times where the best ideas get thrown around and cross-pollinated between members of our tribe. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.